Welcome back. Did you know that anxiety and depression have become a new public health threat for Americans of all ages? And to take it a step further, the World Health Organization describes depression as an epidemic. Take a look at your screens right here, everyone. This chart shows that the numbers are astounding in adults and worse for young adults. Healthcare professionals can't stress enough that there is help out there for anyone suffering with this illness. So today, we are talking about some of those resources. Joining now virtually is Dr. Donald Tavakoli. He is the National Medical Director for Behavioral Health for United Healthcare. Thank you so much for being here, Doctor.
Thank you for having me, Malik.
Yes, I think this is so interesting. I want to talk a little bit more about those numbers that people really just saw moments ago. You all really say that this is really confirming in this report some consistencies you all found when you all did this report last year. Talk to me about this.
Sure, absolutely. One of the striking findings is certainly when we look at high school and college students, we see similar mental health concerns, significant mental health concerns, things like anxiety and depression. But one of the striking findings is college students have nearly a 50% higher rate of self-report of those things.
Unbelievable. And why do you think that is?
Well, certainly there are a lot of stressors in the college age environment. There's a lot of great new experiences, wonderful independence, et cetera, but those are also stressors, whether it's academically, socially, and also the brain is developing and evolving at that time where first breaks of problematic things can come up as well.
So true. What are some of the other key findings that you all saw? Because I want everybody really to go read the report after this interview. The name of the report is called the Student Behavioral Health Report, and you all work with YouGov to actually do this. Talk to me a little bit more about what we found in the high school student age.
Well, it turns out that actually parents' perceptions and high schoolers' self-report of what they're going through, anxiety, depression, other mental health concerns, are actually fairly close. And that makes sense on some level. They're in the home, parents have eyes on them a little bit more. But there is a gap that happens when those kids go off to college. So for example, self-reported anxiety up to 55% in the college student age range of themselves or somebody in their close circle, whereas parents only report 35% of what their college student is experiencing. Depression, 41% self-report among the college age student, whereas it's only about 18% in terms of what parents' perceptions are reporting of those students.
That's unbelievable. And you know, when it comes to trying to hopefully fix this unfortunate epidemic, like the World Health Organization says depression is becoming in our area, here are some tips. You all are seeing it on your screen right there. One of the biggest tips is to really have those conversations earlier. But let's be honest, doctor, for some parents, they may be struggling with this as well. So they don't know how to communicate, how to deal with this, especially in a younger child. What is your advice on how to start that conversation?
The first advice is there's no perfect way. Embrace the awkward. It's okay. It's potentially an uncomfortable conversation, but the earlier and more often you do it, the more open-ended you can stay about it, the more you normalize the fact that it's very common and that there's resources and help to it. Just like any physical illness out there, these things really do have solutions. That will really help.
It's so true, and it's also important to know the signs when it comes to maybe your son, your daughter, your college roommate. What are some of those signs to look out for to see if they may be struggling with anxiety or depression?
Sure. So for example, depression is really a persisting sensation more than a few weeks of consistent sadness or lack of ability to feel pleasure, plus sometimes feelings of hopelessness, withdrawal, loss of interest, difficulty focusing and concentrating at school or other activities. Those are some of the things to look for in terms of depression. Certainly as far as anxiety goes, a lot of excessive worries, irrational worries that are out of the norm. Mood changes, irritability can be a sign of both depression or anxiety, changes in sleep or eating, and certainly look for problems with alcohol or drugs.
Is there ever like a hereditary component to maybe depression or anxiety? If my mom or dad struggles with this, am I more likely to struggle with this myself?
Statistically, yes, there is a higher risk, but that doesn't guarantee things. There's multiple components: your biology, your life experiences, adverse childhood experiences, social stressors and experiences. And so, therefore, it's impossible to predict exactly who will suffer from depression or anxiety, but we do know it's very common. And there is an increased risk if it does happen in other relatives.
And like we mentioned at the top of the show, we want to share some resources with you all. There's actually, when it comes to health insurance, an opportunity for you all to help us out. Talk to me about those resources.
Sure. Just like any physical illness, as I mentioned, you want to seek professional help if you're concerned for yourself or your child. Certainly, primary care doctors can be a great resource, especially if you have a relationship with them. They can do some assessments, they can provide guidance to resources. The number on the back of your insurance card can help you with who's in your network, what are the benefits, how to navigate to them, and other options, virtual care and other things that your health plan might cover.
And I appreciate that more health companies are now realizing that mental health is just as important as physical health, and that you all are allowing us those opportunities to get the help that we need through our insurance. Thank you, Dr. Donald, so much for being here. And again, if you want to read more about this report, and I encourage everybody to do so, or if you feel like you know somebody suffering with thoughts of suicide or any crisis, you can call or text any of the numbers on your screen right there. And to read that full report, log on to UHC.com and to learn more about United Healthcare as a whole. All right, stick with us, everybody. We'll be right back.